The stars outside the window of the Valiant shimmered like diamonds scattered across a black ocean. Inside the ship's command bridge, everything was calm. Lights blinked softly on panels. The hum of the engine was steady. Commander Jace Miles stood at the center of it all, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the holographic map in front of him. At 33, Jace was young for a Starfleet commander, but his calm mind and sharp instincts had earned him the respect of everyone on board. "Status report," he said. Lieutenant Hannah replied from the control panel. "All systems normal, Commander. We're approaching Sector 9. No activity on scans." Sector 9 was far from Earth, near the edge of the Empire's territory. It was supposed to be a quiet patrol, nothing more than a routine mission. Jace turned to his second-in-command. "Commander Rix, let's keep it smooth. I'd rather not wake the Empire unless we have to." Rix smirked. "You say that every time, and we always end up making noise." Before Jace could answer, a red light flashed on the screen. The calm was broken. Commander Hannah's voice rose. "Distress signal coming from RN3 colony. Civilian outpost. Coordinates locked." Jace stepped forward. "Open the message." The screen filled with static, then a shaky voice came through. "This is Governor Talon, of RN3. We are under attack. Imperial ships, 2 destroyers, requesting immediate help. Please, we won't last." The message cut off. The bridge fell silent. Jace looked around. Everyone was waiting for his order. He knew what this meant. The Galactic Empire didn't attack colonies without a reason. Earth was still seen as a lesser power, barely worth attention. But something had changed. "We're closest," Rick said quietly. Jace nodded. "Plot a course to RN3. Full speed, ready weapons, and prepare for engagement." The Valiant turned in space and began its jump. Minutes later, they dropped out of light speed near RN3. Smoke and fire filled the sky above the colony. 2 sleek Imperial destroyers loomed above the planet, firing on its surface. "They haven't seen us yet," Hannah said. "Good," Jace replied. "Let's give them a reason to look." He activated the battle plan. Drones launched. Shields powered up. Jace sent a coded message to the colony. "Help is here. Stay strong." The Valiant flew straight at the first destroyer. As the enemy turned to respond, Jace ordered the ship to dive beneath it. They flew under the destroyer's belly, its weakest point. "Fire all ion torpedoes," Jace shouted. The blasts hit their target. The Imperial ship shook, then burst into flames. The second destroyer turned to flee, but Jace was faster. He ordered a precision strike to the engine core. The sky above RN3 went silent. Both enemy ships were destroyed. Cheers broke out on the Valiant's bridge. The crew couldn't believe it. 2 Empire warships, defeated in minutes by a single Earth vessel. "Send word to Earth Command," Jace said calmly. "Let them know what happened here." As the colony thanked them, and the fires were put out, Jace stood quietly, watching the stars. He knew what this meant. The Empire wouldn't ignore this. They would come, and next time they'd bring more. The Imperial capital, Zevrion Prime, was a world of towering silver spires and endless dark skies. From his high balcony, High Lord Kale Voran looked down at the glowing city. His face was hard, his eyes sharp and cold. He had ruled the Empire's fleets for over 20 years, and nothing surprised him anymore, until now. A young officer hurried into the Grand Chamber and bowed deeply. "High Lord Voran, urgent report from Sector 9. Earth's Starfleet destroyed 2 Imperial destroyers near RN3. One ship, the Valiant, commanded by a man named Jace Miles." Kale turned slowly. His voice was calm but filled with ice. "One ship against 2 Imperial destroyers." "Yes, sir. Both destroyed." The colony was saved. Kale stared at the officer. "Earth dares to challenge the Empire." He stepped forward, his black cloak trailing behind him. "Bring the War Council, now." Within the hour, the top generals of the Empire gathered in the War Hall. Massive holograms lit up, showing battle reports and enemy data. This is no accident, Kale said. Earth has grown too bold. They believe they can resist us. This is rebellion. A general spoke up. Earth's fleet is small. Their ships are outdated. We can crush them easily. Kale narrowed his eyes. Then we will. Send a message to Earth. Surrender now or face full invasion. He paused, then added. And if they refuse, burn their world. Back on Earth, alarms rang through the United Planetary Council. Leaders sat around a round table. Faces pale, voices tense. The Empire is furious, said Counselor Rahim. They've declared our actions illegal. They've given us one choice: surrender or be destroyed. Some leaders panicked. We can't survive an all-out war. Their fleet is 10 times our size. Others looked to the large screen in the room, where Commander Jace Miles appeared via secure channel. Jace stood tall on the screen, his face calm. We can't back down now, he said firmly. They attacked one of our colonies. We defended our people. If we surrender, they'll take everything from us, our freedom, our future. Counselor Mara leaned forward. But Jace, we're outnumbered. We don't have enough ships. Then we'll outsmart them, Jace replied. Let me prepare the fleet. Give me command. I'll show them Earth is not to be underestimated. The council was silent for a long moment. Finally, Counselor Rahim stood. You have our trust, Commander Miles. Earth stands with you. Later aboard the Valiant, Jace looked out at the stars. His crew was silent, watching him. This is bigger than us, he told them. The Empire thinks we're weak, that we'll kneel, but they don't know what we're made of. He turned to his officers. We're going to fight, not just for Earth, but for every world that fears the Empire. This isn't just war. It's the start of something greater. He looked out into space, where the Empire's fleet was surely gathering. Let them come. The Valiant floated in orbit above Earth, shining like a blade ready for war. Inside, the ship buzzed with energy. Crews moved quickly through corridors. Engineers checked every system. Weapons officers tested the ship's cannons, shields, and drones. Commander Jace Miles stood in the war room, studying a large holographic map. Red dots marked the Empire's movements. Blue dots marked Earth's small fleet. There weren't many blue dots. Commander Rix entered the room with a datapad in hand. We've got 20 ships ready for defense. Another 10 are under repair. That's all we've got, Jace. Jace didn't flinch. It's enough. Rix raised an eyebrow. Against an entire empire. Jace looked at the map again. We won't beat them with numbers. We'll beat them with speed, surprise, and strategy. He pointed to several systems near Earth. We'll use asteroid fields, nebulae, anything that hides us. Hit them fast, hit them hard. Then disappear. Rix nodded slowly. Guerrilla warfare in space. I like it. Down in the Valiant's training hall, soldiers practiced hand-to-hand combat. Others ran drills with laser rifles. In the hangars, pilots reviewed battle formations and flight patterns. There was no time to rest. Lieutenant Hannah, the ship's systems officer, joined Jace during one of the drills. The crew is tense, she said. They know what's coming. Jace watched a group of young recruits fire at targets. They should be. Fear keeps us sharp. But they also need to believe we can win. Hannah smiled faintly. You think we can? I know we can. Jace replied. We just have to stay one step ahead. Later, Jace called a full crew meeting in the command hall. Officers, engineers, pilots, and medics all gathered. He stepped onto the small stage and looked at them. I won't lie to you, he began. The Empire is bigger, stronger, older. They think we're nothing. He paused. But they're wrong. We may be small, but we are united. We fight for something they've forgotten. Freedom, and freedom makes us powerful. The room was silent. Then someone clapped. Soon the whole hall was filled with cheering. For the first time, the crew felt not just ready, but confident. Attack on Earth. Civilians prepared too. Shelters were built. Supplies were stored. Scientists worked day and night to improve shields and weapons. Engineers tested new drone models. People everywhere watched the skies, waiting. Children asked their parents, "Will the Empire come?" The parents didn't know how to answer, but many looked up and whispered, "We believe in Starfleet. We believe in Commander Miles." On the Valiant, Jace sat alone in his quarters. A small photo sat on his desk. His family, taken years ago. He hadn't seen them in a long time. He touched the photo and whispered, "I'll keep them safe." Suddenly, an alert sounded. A warning light blinked red. Hannah's voice came through the speaker. "Commander, long-range scans just picked up movement. Imperial ships entering our sector." Jace stood quickly. "How many?" "Too many." Jace's eyes narrowed. "Then it's time." He walked to the bridge. The crew was already at their stations. Jace took his seat in the command chair. "Battle stations," he said. "Let's show them what Earth can do." The stars over Arkan Station were calm and quiet. The station floated near a gas giant, hidden by swirling orange clouds. It was an old mining facility. Small, but important. Earth needed the minerals it produced to build ships and weapons. That's why the Empire targeted it. Early in the morning shift, the station's sensors picked up movement. Fast, sharp, precise. "Unknown ships approaching," the station commander reported. 3, no, 4 Imperial destroyers. Panic broke out inside the station. Workers ran to the emergency shelters. The local defense systems were too weak to stop a full attack. The Empire's fleet moved in fast, confident and unchallenged. But they weren't alone. From behind a nearby asteroid field, the Valiant and 3 Earth fighters waited in silence. Inside the Valiant, Commander Jace Miles watched the Imperial fleet on the screen. "Are they in range?" Jace asked. Lieutenant Hannah nodded. "Just entered the trap zone." Commander Rix grinned. "Time to ruin their day." Jace raised his hand. "Launch the decoys. Activate stealth mode. And prepare to strike." Small drone ships flew out silently, pretending to be Earth's main fleet. The decoys lit up, moving fast, drawing attention. The Imperial ships turned to face them. That's when the Valiant and the fighters made their move. "Engage," Jace commanded. From the shadows of the asteroid belt, Earth's ships flew straight at the Empire's rear. Lasers blazed. Explosions lit up the sky. One Imperial destroyer took a direct hit to its engines. It spiraled out of control, crashing into a nearby moon. Another tried to turn, but ran into a minefield planted by Jace's team the night before. It exploded in a massive fireball. Inside the Valiant, the crew moved with precision. No shouting, no panic, just focused teamwork. Hannah called out, "Third destroyer is retreating." "Not yet," Jace said. "Lock on and fire." A final torpedo hit the fleeing ship. It burst apart, pieces scattering across space. The last destroyer, seeing its fleet destroyed in minutes, turned and ran. Earth had won again. Later, Jace stood on the surface of Arkan Station, walking with the station commander. "I thought we were done for," the commander said. "Then you showed up like lightning out of nowhere." Jace nodded. "We protect our own." The miners cheered when the Valiant flew overhead. Word of the victory spread fast across Earth and its colonies. People began to hope. But far away on Zevrian Prime, High Lord Cal Voron sat in silence as the latest report came in. 4 destroyers, his officer said nervously. "All gone, sir." Cal clenched his jaw. "This, Miles," he said coldly. "He's smarter than I thought." He stood and faced the stars beyond his palace window. "No more small attacks. No more mistakes. Prepare the full fleet. We end this now." Back on the Valiant, Jace looked out the window of his quarters. The crew celebrated quietly. Another battle won. But Jace felt the weight of what was coming. "They'll hit back harder," Rick said, joining him. "I know," Jace replied. This was just the beginning. The skies above Earth were no longer calm. Every radar, satellite and telescope on the planet picked up the same signal. A massive Imperial fleet entering the outer edges of the solar system. Not a few ships. Not a squadron. Hundreds. Destroyers, cruisers, carriers. The full force of the Galactic Empire. In the United Planetary Council chamber, panic broke out. "This is it," one leader shouted. "We have to surrender before they reach us. They'll destroy our cities. They'll take everything." The room was filled with fear. But then Commander Jace Miles walked in. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't shout. He simply said, "We still have a chance." The room went silent. Jace walked to the front of the table. "The Empire is bigger, stronger, but that doesn't mean they're smarter. We know our home. We know our space. And we've prepared." He tapped a console, bringing up a hologram of Earth's defense plan. "We'll use stealth ships to strike their supply lines. Drones will create false fleets to confuse them. Our main force will stay hidden in the shadow of Earth's moon until they get close." Counselor Mara asked, "But if they reach Earth?" "They won't," Jace said, "because I'm going to stop them before they do." Aboard the Valiant, the crew worked non-stop. Engineers ran final checks. Pilots loaded weapons. Medics prepared for casualties. In the main hangar, Jace stood before a group of elite pilots. They were young, but brave. He looked at each one. "The Empire is coming with everything they have," he said. "But we have something they don't, Hart. We're not fighting because we want to conquer. We're fighting because we want to live free." He paused. "And today we stand between them and our world." As the Imperial fleet reached Neptune's orbit, they slowed. Ships moved into attack formation. On the Empire's command vessel, High Lord Kale Voran stood tall on the bridge. "Earth will burn," he said. He raised a hand. "Begin the march." The fleet moved toward Earth, but they didn't get far. Jace's trap was already set. Dozens of drone ships launched from hidden bases. They lit up on enemy radar, pretending to be Earth's fleet. The Empire chased them right into minefields, hidden in the asteroid belt. Explosions rocked space. Then from behind Jupiter's moon, Earth's real fleet attacked. Fast, sharp, precise. The Valiant led the charge, diving between Imperial cruisers, firing torpedoes with perfect aim. Jace's voice echoed through the ship. "Stick to the plan. Trust your training. We don't back down." One Imperial carrier exploded. Another lost power and drifted away. Chaos spread through the Empire's fleet. But the Empire pushed forward. "They're still coming," Kana said, watching the radar. "No matter how many we hit, they're trying to overwhelm us," Rix added. "They're not stopping." Jace's eyes narrowed. "Then we hold the line." In space above Mars, Earth's forces made their final stand before the enemy could reach home. Ships clashed in all directions. Lasers fired. Shields cracked. Smoke and fire filled the blackness. Inside the Valiant, Jace stayed focused, giving orders, moving fast, never blinking. Then Hannah shouted, "Commander, new signal flagship approaching." Kale's personal warship, the heart of the Imperial fleet, was arriving. It was time for the final phase. Jace stood from his seat. "Ready the Shadow Protocol." Rix looked at him. "That's a one-way mission." Jace nodded. "I know, but you'll die." "I might." Jace looked out at Earth in the distance. "But they'll live." The Valiant streaked through space, engines burning hot, moving faster than anything else in the sky. Commander Jace Miles sat in the captain's chair, eyes locked on the giant screen ahead. The Imperial flagship, Kale Voran's personal warship, was now visible. It was massive, twice the size of the Valiant, covered in heavy armor and packed with weapons. Jace took a breath. "This is it," he said. "We end it here." Behind him, the remaining Earth ships kept fighting. The sky near Earth had turned into a battlefield. Wreckage floated everywhere. Fires lit up the stars. But Earth still stood. The people below watched from bunkers and shelters. Some prayed, others held each other. Everyone listened to the reports coming in. "Starfleet is holding the line. Commander Miles is engaging the enemy flagship." Hope was alive. Inside the Imperial flagship, High Lord Kale Voran paced his bridge. His face was tight with anger. How is this possible? He growled. We are the Empire. They are nothing. An officer spoke quietly. Their commander, Miles. He's not like the others. Kale's eyes narrowed. Then I'll crush him myself. Jace flew the Valiant straight at the Imperial flagship. Alarms rang across the ship. Shields flickered. But Jace didn't stop. Hannah, keep the EMP cannons hot. Rix, stay on the engines. No mistakes. Aye, Commander, they replied. The Valiant weaved through enemy fire, dodging blast after blast. Then Jace gave the order. Fire EMP. A wave of blue energy shot from the Valiant, hitting the enemy flagship. Its lights flickered. Some systems went dark. Direct hit. Hannah shouted. Their targeting is down. Jace didn't wait. He drove the Valiant forward, aiming for the enemy's core. Inside the Imperial ship, Kale roared. Restore power. Fire everything. But it was too late. Jace's ship came in low, diving beneath the flagship just like he had at RN3. He fired everything he had. Missiles, lasers, torpedoes. The enemy ship shook violently. Then Jace saw it. A weak spot in the rear engine. He didn't hesitate. Ramming speed, he said. Rix turned. Jace, no. Jace gave a soft smile. This is the only way. At the last second, Jace locked the controls, turned to his crew, and ordered them off the bridge. Evacuate. That's an order. His crew tried to argue, but he stood firm. You've done your part. Now go. They obeyed. Jace sat alone, guiding the Valiant straight toward the heart of the Empire's greatest warship. From Earth, people watched the final moments unfold on shaky screens. The Valiant became a streak of light. It crashed into the Imperial flagship in a blinding explosion. The sky lit up. The enemy ship cracked open and exploded into fire and metal. Silence followed. Then came the message. The flagship is down. The Empire is retreating. Cheers erupted on Earth and across the colonies. People cried, hugged, danced. The battle was over. On a medical ship near the wreckage, survivors were rescued from escape pods. Commander Rix and Lieutenant Hannah stood beside each other, injured but alive. They looked at the stars. He did it, Rix said softly. Hannah nodded. He saved us all. Far from the crowd, a small escape pod drifted through space. Inside, barely breathing, was Jace Miles. His hand clutched a photo of his family. He smiled faintly, eyes closing. His mission was done. The sun rose over Earth. Its light spilled across cities, mountains, oceans, places that had nearly been lost. Smoke still rose from a few outposts. Broken ships still floated in space. But Earth had survived. The Empire had retreated. For the first time in history, they had been beaten. And not by a massive power, but by one small planet with the will to fight. Inside the United Planetary Council Hall, the air was quiet and heavy. Leaders sat together, waiting. Then the doors opened. Lieutenant Hannah and Commander Rix stepped in. Rix wore a bandage on his shoulder. Hannah moved slowly, her leg in a brace, but they stood tall. Counselor Mara rose. We heard the flagship was destroyed. Is it true? Rix nodded. The Valiant hit it head-on, took it down. And Commander Miles? Someone asked. Hannah looked away for a moment, then she turned back. He got us out, saved Earth. We found his escape pod drifting. He's alive, but barely. Gasps filled the room. He's in recovery now. Deep sleep. Doctors say he might wake up someday. Across Earth, people began rebuilding. Homes were repaired. Ships were fixed. Graves were dug for the ones who didn't make it. But people smiled more now. They walked freely. They believed. Children played games in the street, pretending to be Jace Miles, piloting ships and saving the world. Artists painted his face on city walls. Statues were built. Songs were written. Stories were shared. Jace had become a symbol, not just for Earth, but for the whole galaxy. And the galaxy was changing. After the Empire's defeat, colonies and distant star systems began to rise up. Worlds that had lived under Imperial rule for centuries found courage. They saw what Earth had done. If one small world could stand up, maybe others could too. Rebellion sparked. Peace talks began. For the first time in generations, The Empire was silent. Its grip was loosening. On a quiet space station near Jupiter, a man lay in a medical pod. Machines beeped slowly. Lights blinked softly. It was Jace Miles, still alive, still fighting. In his sleep, maybe he dreamed of stars, of battles, of peace. Maybe he heard the voices of his crew, of Hannah and Rix. Maybe he knew that the galaxy had changed because of him. Back on Earth, a message was sent across the stars, simple and clear, to every world still living in fear. You are not alone.